Warning: watch this video or you will regret it. There is a silent fear that haunts many people entering old age. It is not heart disease, stroke, or cancer. It is memory loss, Alzheimer's. There is nothing more painful than a mother who can no longer recognize her child, a father who can't remember the way home, or a grandfather who doesn't know what day or year it is. Alzheimer's doesn't kill people in a day, but it silently takes away their memories, personality, independence, and self-esteem. In the end, the patient lives like a shadow, forgetting how to eat, how to speak, how to love. Why has this disease become the biggest fear of old age? How to recognize the early signs? And is there any way to prevent it? Today's video will help you understand Alzheimer's better, so that no one has to face it in helplessness and loneliness. What is Alzheimer's and why are older people more susceptible? Alzheimer's is a form of dementia, a progressive neurodegenerative disorder that severely affects memory, thinking, behavior, and the ability to care for oneself. This disease accounts for about 60 to 70% of all dementia cases worldwide, and the risk of Alzheimer's increases sharply with age, especially after age 65. By age 85, 1 in 3 people have signs of the disease. Why are older people more susceptible? Neuronal degeneration. The older you are, the more damaged nerve cells are, the weaker the nerve connections, leading to cognitive decline. Abnormal protein accumulation. Alzheimer's is associated with the accumulation of 2 types of proteins in the brain: amyloid beta, which forms plaques between cells, and tau, which disrupts the structure of nerve cells. This accumulation destroys important areas of the brain such as memory, language processing, and emotion. Genetics and family factors. If someone in your family has had Alzheimer's, your risk is higher. However, most cases are due to age and lifestyle. Underlying diseases and lifestyle: high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking, lack of exercise, prolonged stress, all contribute to damage to the brain's blood vessels, creating conditions for Alzheimer's to develop. It is worth noting that Alzheimer's does not come in a day. It starts with very small changes in the brain before there are obvious symptoms, possibly as early as 10 to 15 years. The first signs: when memory starts to leave you. One of the things that makes Alzheimer's so scary is that it comes so quietly. In the early stages, the patient may still be talking and laughing, doing normal activities, but memory is gradually falling away piece by piece. Here are the early warning signs. Recent forgetfulness. Forgetting recent events. Forgetting appointments. Asking the same thing over and over again during the day. Difficulty planning. Difficulty calculating. Not remembering how to cook familiar dishes. Not being able to calculate the cost of groceries, getting confused when doing multi-step tasks, getting lost even in familiar places, going out and not knowing the way home, going to the market and forgetting the way home, confusion of time and space, not remembering what day it is, where you are, confusing the past and present, difficulty expressing yourself verbally, forgetting words, using the wrong words, or stopping mid-sentence because you don't know how to continue. Personality changes, irritability, irrational suspicion, depression, social withdrawal. Loss of judgment, wearing clothes that are not appropriate for the weather, spending money unusually, or believing scam calls. These signs are often dismissed by families as, it's normal to forget a little when you're old. But if a person increasingly forgets not only people's names, but also who they are, it could be the beginning of Alzheimer's. The earlier it is detected, the better the chance of slowing the progression of the disease. How does Alzheimer's affect the lives of patients and their families? Unlike many other diseases, Alzheimer's doesn't just attack the patient. It is also a heavy psychological and physical burden for the whole family. For patients, they gradually lose themselves. Every day they wake up, they see the world as more unfamiliar. From small things like not remembering where they put things, to forgetting how to use a spoon, how to go to the toilet, even how to call their loved ones names. They easily fall into depression, anxiety, and panic when they don't understand what is happening. Finally, patients often become cognitively vegetative, completely dependent on their caregivers. For relatives, caring for Alzheimer's is not simply feeding and drinking. It is a daily battle of patience, coaxing, repeating, enduring tantrums, even being cursed and chased away. Families also have to face high treatment costs, lost work time, mental fatigue, and even broken relationships without sharing and support. Many families admit that it is better to lose a loved one to some illness than to live aimlessly, forgetting everything, as if you are no longer yourself. That is why Alzheimer's becomes the biggest fear of old age, not because of physical pain, but because it causes people to lose their identity and memories, the things that make up a person's life. Alzheimer's can be prevented and slowed down, but it must be started early. The good news is that although there is no cure, Alzheimer's can be prevented and its progression slowed down if detected early and intervened promptly. Here are 5 things that older people and middle-aged people should do. 1. Exercise your brain every day. Read books, play chess, learn new things, solve crossword puzzles, play musical instruments to maintain neural connections. Communicate, chat, participate in community activities to avoid social isolation. 2. Eat well for the brain. Prioritize fatty fish, walnuts, green vegetables, fresh fruit. Limit sugar, fried foods, animal fats. Drink enough water, limit alcohol, absolutely do not smoke. 3. Exercise regularly. Walk, cycle, do yoga, at least 30 minutes a day. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, reducing the risk of brain atrophy. Control underlying diseases, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, if not well controlled, will increase the risk of Alzheimer's. Regular checkups, taking full medication, monitoring indexes regularly. 5. Stay optimistic. Prolonged stress and depression are 2 factors that make the disease progress quickly. Maintain joy in life, have goals, have people to share with. Remember, Alzheimer's is not a fate of old age, but a result of how we live today. Early action, while memory is still intact, is the key. Alzheimer's is a separation. Separation from yourself, separation from memories, separation from the most beautiful things in life. But you can absolutely do something for your parents, for yourself, to delay that separation as long as possible. Let's start today. Go to the doctor when you see a problem with your memory, and don't think that Alzheimer's is inevitable, because every choice in life is a step to protect the brain. If you find this video useful, please like and share to spread this knowledge to more families. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue accompanying us on profound and humane topics about old age. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next video.